Hey everyone, it's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. This review is going to be different. I don't know if I'm going to make this, I'm fairly overlooked, or I'm going to make this the new cult classics because I don't know where to place this. Guess first some announcements. Thursday night, I will be seeing Nobody at the Thursday night show, so I'm really excited to talk about it. Also have plans this weekend of checking out. Either doing a pilot episode review or maybe just waiting and doing the season review of The Mighty Ducks Game Changers. 90s kid, can't wait. Love the Mighty Ducks films. So glad that Emilio Estevez is back. I'm gonna do Bad Trip, The Father, SNL with Maya Rudolph this weekend. Maybe Solar Opposites review. It's gonna be fun. But today I just thought for fun, I would do a video on a show, that I think is starting to gain some attention, but maybe just not enough. And that is a show that's streaming on Hulu now. It's called, and I've referenced it in some of my videos past, Letterkenny. Letterkenny is co-created by and starring Jared Keeso. It is a Canadian sitcom that is streaming in the US on Hulu. In case you're wondering, a particular subsection of the Mighty Ducks fans are excited because the rival coach in that series is the guy who plays Riley on Letterkenny, who is a hockey player and kind of a dim-witted one. So that's kind of a funny little deep cut. I think that some of the Disney people kind of knew that. So what's Letterkenny about? It's about... it establishes in the premise that there's a town in Canada called Letterkenny, a fictional town. And it's about the various people, and it says these are their problems. And basically every episode is very wordy, very crass humor, but crass humor with like a very specific kind of Torontoian dialect. And basically it's focusing on the misadventures of people in this town that fall in different subsections. You got the Skids, who are like the punk rock, emo, music loving, video game loving drug addicts. You've got the Hicks, who are like, the good old-fashioned farm folk. You got Squirrely Dan, Daryl or Derry, Wayne, who's kind of the leader of the group, and his sister Katie, who in a running bit is, doesn't wear as enough clothes, as kind of a running bit. Put some clothes on. Not my forte. Unfortunate. And they're all hilarious. And then you also got people, you got the hockey players, and you got kind of the weird sort of pastor, kind of over-the-top pastor, whatever you want to call him, who kind of might have a little bit of a crush on Wayne. And kind of all these different characters, and they're kind of bouncing off each other. And then within the Hick community, you also got McMurray and his sister Bonnie McMurray, who all the guys are kind of in love with. And then you also got Mrs. McMurray, who a lot of the guys are also in love with. She's actually played by the same actress who played Emily in Ready or Not and Winona Earp on Winona Earp. Cool. That's really, really cool. That's a nice cred to have. And it goes perfectly with how I discovered this show. We'll get there. So, you have various other people coming out. You got people like the people from Quebec, particularly Anik, who is Derry's, on again, off again, mostly on for a little bit and then all the way off. Girlfriend from Quebec, who the running bit is that she's beautiful, because I believe she's actually played by a supermodel, like a Canadian supermodel. But then you also got people like the hockey players, who are like Riley and Jonesy. You've got Shorzy, who's played by the same guy who plays Wayne, but you never see his face, and he's always what they call chirping, always making mama jokes that are apparently valid. Like he turns to Riley Diaz shut up. Shorzy goes, oh, you shut up, Riley. Your mom liked my Instagram post from 2 years ago from Puerto Vallarta. Tell her I'll put my swim trunks on anytime she likes. It's not like that. It's one of the cleaner ones, believe it or not. And they have people like Tanis, or she calls herself Auntie Tanis because she's kind of almost like the mother bear of the tough chick who's kind of the leader of these group who are on kind of the sort of native reservation around the area and stuff like that, and their group. And so you got all these different characters, and they're just kind of bouncing off each other, and there's a lot of dialogue and a lot of funny wordplay and word association. That's really funny. Don't even get them started on when a former flame goes somewhere and starts acting different. This show is amazing. This show is basically has some of the funniest, most laugh out loud moments I've seen in a show in a long time. Letterkenny is really funny. It really is just that Canadian aspect, and you also got some drop-ins from other big Canadian kind of talents. You got Jay Baruchel showing up, basically as the leader of like an alt-right-ish type, hate group that comes to the town. You also got, in basically a pseudo-leading role, like Sarah Gadon, as one of the girlfriend of the Skid Stewart, who, if you don't know her, she was, had great roles on, like, 11/22/63, Castle Rock. She's shown up in a few movies, like the Dracula movie with Luke Evans. She's also been in, also, this is going to be a deep cut. She was in the Disney Channel movie Cadet Kelly with Hilary Duff and Christy Carlson Romano. She was also had a guest appearance on one of my favorite Canadian Disney shows, and a lot of people my age's favorite, Life with Derek, which is a whole other story. All I'll say is that those step-siblings should not be acting the way they're acting toward each other. It's not appropriate behavior outside of maybe a Christmas-themed Folgers ad. Seriously, what was up with that show? Don't get me wrong, I love that show. Derek Venturi is still led to be one of the greatest, turd-head sitcom older brothers ever. That dude gave a great performance, and they had good banter, but, like, my God. What are they teaching those kids at Degrassi? Anyway, so moving on. That show is also, might be a future, maybe nostalgia deep dive. I might, find, I think you can rewatch it on Tubi now, so I might give that a binge watch. Basically, though, Letterkenny's fantastic. You've got to watch Letterkenny. It's on Hulu. And here we come to the story. So, how did I discover this? Because it seems like people seem to discover this from word of mouth. It doesn't really have a big audience here in the US as far as I'm aware of. It seems like when I'm in a group of 6 friends, including me, there maybe is me and one other guy or gal who's seen it and knows it, and then other 4 who are, maybe one other person who's like, oh, I kind of heard the name, and then the other 3 are like, Letter Who? Kenny Who? Like McCormick? Loggins? Like, who are you talking about? No, it's a town in Toronto where people have problems. There's so many memes in this show, running gags. Take 10% off there, Squirrely Dan. That's, you're hardworking, and that's what I appreciate about you, Miss Katie's. Is that all you appreciate about me, Dan? Well, take about 10% off there, Squirrely Dan. That's a Texas size stand for. Hard no. Allegedly. I can't finish that, or else I will. Any chance of me ever being monetized and to be demonetized will never happen. So, the show is not safe for work. It is very much for adults only, but it's hilarious. So the story. Okay, so it's actually relating to earlier. In 2019, is when I discovered this show. I went to see the movie Ready or Not, and I ran into someone who I came to kind of during that movie kind of have a conversation with. I liked his shirt, and then we got to talking. And he asked me what shows I was watching at the moment, and I said, I don't know. And I said, at that time, I'd just gotten caught up to where it was in that point in Trailer Park Boys, and I said, I really want a Canadian sitcom to watch. And I said, he said, do you have Hulu? I'm like, yeah. And he said, have you ever seen Letterkenny? It's me and my roommate's favorite thing. I'm like, no, I've never even heard of it. And he says, check it out. I said, yeah, I'll consider it. So basically what happened is I kind of stumbled on this show. By vague memory. What happened is that about a week after that point, a little less than a week, I got kind of sick. Not going to go into details, but basically it got to the point where I was sick enough that I was in the hospital for about 5 days. And it is absolute hell being in the hospital, having sleep there. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I really feel for the people who have to actually basically live at those places, because that would be horrible. But basically what happened was I had my iPad and I was just like bored. It's the one time in my life I got sick of Star Wars because they played it so much. It was literally all that was on the only channel that came in all the way. So I basically got to a point where I'm like, I'm just going to see what's on Hulu. And I remembered, what's the name of that show? And I started watching it. I watched the first 3 seasons before I left that place. I basically, any chance I got a free moment where it wasn't, taking pills or medicine or anything or sleeping, I was watching Letterkenny. And I fell in love with it. It was one of the few high points of an otherwise miserable situation. Letterkenny's fantastic. It is absolutely great. 5 out of 5 stars. Watch Letterkenny. This show needs more of an audience. That's going to wrap it up. Jared Keeso, and I believe it's Jacob Tierney is the co-creator. Either way, fantastic work, you two, and everyone involved in that show. Classic. Future classic. Go check that guy out. McMurray's a piece of crap. Alright. What's up? McMurray's a piece of crap. Yeah, man. Let's talk about agriculture. It's like, oh, shut up, McMurray, you piece of crap. Anyway. Your wife is beautiful. My roommate used to date her, but he's a Dutchman, so what does he know? Anyway, sorry. You'll get it when you watch the show. It's a lot of running gags. I'm on a tangent. So again, later this week, what are we talking? Maybe another video before then, but basically the next one planned is what we got coming on. Again, Nobody, Thursday night. Friday, I'm planning on doing pulling double duty with Bad Trip, as well as The Father, and then also I'm going to watch season 2 maybe of Solar Opposites, which is a pretty underrated Hulu show from the Rick and Morty team. It's quite funny. Yeah. Watch Letterkenny. It's fantastic. And watch Life with Derek, too. As much as I criticize that show, and if you're not talking about the full, if you want, also, real quick, if you're wondering about the Folgers commercial that was the Christmas one, everyone knows this. It's the one that College Humor basically skewered brilliantly, where the idea is that it's supposed to be a sentimental, sweet brother-sister thing, but it comes off really creepy and pseudo-romantic, where, like, the dude comes home, like, he's in the Peace Corps, and he's going to Africa to, like, to be in the Peace Corps, West Africa, and he comes home for Christmas, and, the girl takes the bow and goes, like, you're my present this year, and they're making, like, like, googly eyes at each other. I'm like, you established she's his sister. Why? If you look up the Folgers commercial, once you watch it, watch the College Humor parody. It's fantastic. What are you doing, Peter? We sent you to West Africa for a reason. Anyway, again, want to watch myself. Don't want to get kicked off here. Alright, so anyway, watch Letterkenny. Alright. Good night, everybody. I'm going to watch Superman and Lois now. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Love you all, class dismissed. Love you 3000. All that jazz. Be kind to one another. Don't hurt each other. Stop Asian hate. Bigotry is bad and racism is bad, no matter who or what it entails. No matter what the feelings about people are, you shouldn't have them. Love one another. All people deserve to be respected and to be safe and to be able to walk down the street without fear of getting attacked. So just don't hurt people. Sorry, it riles me up. That is a really crappy thing to do. And it keeps happening. Sorry, didn't mean to go on a script. Be kind to one another. Alright, thank you all.